great to see you here in Manchester. Berkeley Energia, all about uranium, all about the uranium price going up, or is there more to it than that?
Yes, we're the only uranium mine in the world being constructed today. So we're going to be coming into production just as we think the uranium market's going to hit the biggest deficit it's ever seen in its history.
And is the message really getting out in terms of the energy deficit that we have?
Not really, because people understand that China's building reactors, for instance. What they're possibly not aware of is that Japan's turning its reactors back on, and we've got this massive deficit in the recontracting for the 228 reactors in the US and the EU, going to generate a demand of £1 billion of uranium. Then you add on top of that, if you believe what the UK government's saying, if we're going to all be driving electrical vehicles by 2040, that's going to add an even bigger demand. In fact, what they're talking about is that's an extra 30 gigawatts. 30 gigawatts is equivalent to 10 Hinkley Points. So this is probably the most exciting time in the world to be building a major uranium mine.
So when is there going to be the perception flip that you need and maybe the world needs?
In terms of us, I think we've made 4 recent announcements all about finishing off the capital cost, bringing the crusher to the site, and other complementary things leading up to one single announcement, and that is our major funding. And I think the flip for us is when we're able to finalise and announce a major strategic investor into the company, and then we'll see us being redefined in the marketplace, I believe.
But isn't the nuclear flip more important maybe than your funding flip in this case?
No, because I think the ability to buy us for cash flow. I think we're just a single asset company. We're in the heart of the European Union. We've got fantastic offtake agreements, incredibly low cost. So what we're going to be about is generating free cash flow. So we can buy us without necessarily having to buy the nuclear story. You can say these guys are going to make a lot of money.
Right, we're here at a private investor event. Who's more important, private investors or the institutional ones?
The private investor, as you well know, drive the marginal price. And the institutional investors will essentially give us our money, but they don't trade the stock on a daily basis. So we communicate with the private investors, and they are in effect our liquidity. So they are our marginal buyer. So they're very important.
And are there any times when you think, you're also a force of nature on the retail investor circuit, any times when you have doubts or when you think that this is not going to happen? I mean, you're human after all.
They're not so much retail investors, these are private investors. The retail investors tend to be more bulletin board type people. Yeah. So these are the fact that they've taken time out of their evening to come along and ask sensible questions, they've done their research. So they're quite savvy investors. And in fact, a few of them here have been to site, so they're good. So no, I get very encouraged. In fact, I draw a lot of support from these people because they're following the story very closely.
Paul, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Zach.